Okay, guys, how you doing? Good. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being here and sharing this next hour with me. I have so much data to share with you today, and 55 minutes is going to be a short time, but I'm going to try to be precise as possible so we can just get through all the subjects and talk about everything that I'm actually bringing. And I really hope that somehow you find this information useful and you can use it on your own businesses, okay? First, a big thanks to the sponsors this year. Thank you guys for being there and supporting us. Thanks to 2SEC, Ambition Native, Bond, TJEPS, DNN WERP, and Say Hey Agency, okay? Thank you guys so much for that. We're gonna start talking about a couple of housekeeping rules for the session. First, I'm bringing some candies from Costa Rica. So you can go ahead and have this on and have as many as you want. I know it's after breakfast. So grab as many as you may want.
Thank you very much.
And you can just pass them on. So if you need some sugar, you can have some over there. Okay? Just don't make, just don't make too much loud with the sugar. Another important thing, this is not an SEO basics 1 hour session kind of thing, okay? The information I'm sharing with you guys today, anybody can process that information. It's not technical, so we're not gonna be talking about what's SEO on and off page, what's link building. What I'm bringing today, it's the latest news of SEO for actually this year, 2024, okay? And also, I have 6 cool prizes from Costa Rica here, and I have 6 surprise questions about SEO throughout the session. So this is how that's gonna work. I'm gonna randomly select somebody from the group. Don't feel pressure. I will show up the question. You will have 4 options to answer. If you get it right, you're gonna get the prize. If not, I will move to somebody else until that person gets the answer, okay? So it's about what I'm gonna be talking on during the session. So just go ahead and pay attention. Close attention to the details and you might get a prize for that. Cool. Agenda. So I'm gonna introduce myself real quick so you guys can know who's Marco. Since I'm from a 12-hour flight country, I'm not close enough. So I decided to share a couple of quick facts about my homeland so you guys can get to know a little bit better. It's a minute and a half, something like that, but it's interesting so you guys can get to know my country a little bit. And these are the subjects that we're gonna be talking today. What's EEAT all about? We're gonna do some recap for last year Google algorithm updates. We're gonna focus on the latest and biggest core update last March 2024. We're gonna be talking about the AI capabilities for Google search called SGE. What is it and what it's for? And this is the slogan of the presentation, I'm gonna share with you guys my own experience because we only use DNN for website development and we focus on SEO using DNN. So I decided to share pretty much what we do with our clients so you guys can have a better idea. And at the end, I share a couple of links so you guys can get some free SEO courses if you wanna get a refresh of that or maybe get started on it. And also a couple of tools that we use on a daily basis in the agency. And the last section for questions, okay? Cool. About me, I'm Marco. I'm from Costa Rica. I'm the CEO for a small digital agency in Costa Rica called Globaload. No, don't worry. What we pretty much do, it's website development, and we provide marketing services to our clients. I've been using DNN for more than 12 years now. We currently have more than 80 active clients. And this year, we got a pretty good news from Google. We work along with Google a lot. So we got an awarded on January to be Google Premier Partners. So that means that the agency is in the top 3% of the best agencies in Costa Rica that provides the Google Ads services over there. Every time you see this like underlined, is a link. So at the end of the session, I have a QR code, so you guys can scan it and you get the PDF. So if you want to go and visit any of those links, you can just go right after the session and you download the PDF. And these are my personal channels, phone number, and email if you guys want to get in touch. Okay? About Costa Rica, okay? So, first thing, that's the flag. You might find it similar to the DNN flag, right? Okay, I'm not gonna do that again on the picture, so don't worry, guys. I actually didn't bring it this year. That's my country. We are right in the middle of the American continent. Above us, you have Mexico, United States, and below us, you have Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, and all the South American countries. But we are right there in the middle. Current population, that's a panoramic view of San Jose, main city, main downtown. We are currently 5,300,000 people right now. We don't have an army since 1948. And last year, we had the best grade on Global Peace Index for Latin American and the Caribbean. And here's the link if you want to get more information about that. So if you guys want to go and visit us, well, you can be safe, yeah. Plus, you got the tour guide already, so.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, whatever you want. It's safe. Another interesting fact, that little land you saw in a slide earlier, we have 5% of world's biodiversity. So if you guys want to go there, that's pretty much what you guys can find over there.
Cool. The Pirates Day, there's not Photoshop, they really have that shape.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Those parrots came.
Come again?
Those parrots.
In Pride, they are doing
Yeah.
Pride,
Now, this is some interesting fact. You guys know what a blue zone is? A blue zones, it's a worldwide term for places in Earth where people who live there has a big chance to live more than 100 years. So it's related to a lot of things like food, the lifestyle they have, you know, the exercise they do. There are places around the world. You guys can watch Netflix and you will see like a documentary about blue zones, pretty cool. And we have one of those in Costa Rica. It's Nicoya, and that's a homeland Mr. over 100 years over there. 25% of land in Costa Rica is merely for conservation. So if you go, you get a lot to see, and we protect a lot of our woods and, a lot of our forests and a lot of our wildlife, and you will find plenty of to look at. And this is something that people really like doing it. You guys can watch a sunrise and a sunset on the sea the same day. So you can go to the Caribbean, look the sunrise, and then go to the Pacific in the same day, and you can watch the sunset. Okay? And this is the last one. 99% of the electricity we use in Costa Rica is based on renewable energy already. So we base ourselves on wind, solar, and water. Cool. So those were the quick facts I want to share with you guys about my homeland. Hope you like it. And now we're going to get started. So the first subject is what's EEAT. Have someone heard about that before? Okay, great. Cool. So that's the meaning of each of the words. First one is for experience. Second one is for expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Okay? Now, what is it? EEAT is pretty much a framework Google published back in 2013. And it's part of a guideline called Google's search quality rating guidelines, and that's the link if you guys want to visit. Now, what's that guideline for? It's for some people Google has, human beings, who they do quality and credibility control every time Google runs an update on their search engine algorithm, okay? So these people are known as quality raters. So they use this guideline to feedback Google, and they are all across the world, and they feedback Google about, okay, you guys just run an update on the search. We're gonna tell you how good is the quality of the content coming up after the update, okay? Now, a little of history about EEAT. On 2013, Google officially publishes the search quality rating guidelines, so it's been more than 13 years that Google is been using quality raters, okay? Human beings to, like quality control. Next year, Google adds the EAT framework that, if you notice, is only one E, right? Expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. But 8 years later, Google adds an extra E. And if you notice, the year is pretty close, and the month is pretty close to the official release for ChatGPT, November the 30th, right? So this was 1 month after. And the reason of the extra E, if we go back, it's experience, okay? So Google right now, if you ask me about it, in my personal opinion, they are on the track of the experience part. Why? Because even though we have ChatGPT and some other AI tools, there are certain thresholds that AI cannot meet, like experience, okay? So when you guys go to a restaurant, your own personal experience, and you review that restaurant on Google Maps, TripAdvisor, or any other platform you guys use for that, that's something that AI pretty much is never gonna be able to replicate, right? So Google is actually on that track. That's the way I believe they're gonna start splitting content between what's AI and what's not AI, right? Cool. So, like I said, AI cannot meet the quality threshold for certain types of content that require experience. Something that is good to know, the European Union right now is voluntarily asking big companies like Facebook, Meta, to label what's AI-generated content. Why? Because there's a lot of fake news going on for everything. And that's a big risk for AI content, right? Fake news. So it's something that is going on around trying to differentiate what's AI-generated content and what's not. And last thing about EEAT, Google updates the search quality rating guidelines about once per year, okay? Very good. So we got the first question. So before I show you the question, I'm gonna pick somebody up, okay? So don't feel the pressure, but I wanna go with you, Martin. What do you think? Okay. Thank you for voluntarily with no other option. So the question, what does SEM stands for? We have 4 options: search engine optimization, search engine media, search engine marketing, or search engine mobile. What do you think it's going to be?
It's not the first one,
Okay.
and it's also not the second one. And the last one is something different, so I go for C.
Option C. Excellent. You got it. Here you go. Thank you for, again, participating with no other option. Okay.
Compulsory voluntary.
Yeah. So, what's SEM about? Well, it's just a way to promote content other than organic and help companies be on Google, right? And it's through ads, pretty much. So, what are the main search engines right now? We have Google, Bing, right? And we have Baidu. It's the Chinese search engine. And then the three ones has ad options, right? So yeah, that's for wine. So you can just put the wine there. Excellent. Cool. Let's keep on going. Now we're gonna go real quick. Sure, welcome. We're gonna go real quick through the last year algorithm updates for Google. It's a small recap, so you guys can see that this is an ongoing process and it's getting more frequently every year. So Google is doing more and more updates every year. This last year, they run 9 updates, but the important ones are 4. You have the March 2023 core update, the August, October, and November. These 4 core updates were updates that affect directly the search engine and responded to specific events that Google wants to cover up or at least update and keep the search engine with the latest and be capable of keep answering the right way every question you guys make, right? We have other kind of updates like reviews, for example. They run 2 updates on reviews, one for the helpful content section, 3 product review, and we have an spam update on October last year. So a total of 9 and 4 core updates. Usually when they run a core update, it takes about a month. So they start, I don't know, March the 1st, and it will over until the update will over until next month. So it's not like a one-thing deal. So they run a lot of tests, and as long as the tests go fine, they keep going with the update until they finish up. Okay. Cool. So now second surprise question. Okay. So Michael, you want to go for it? Still don't have an option. Okay. So the question is, what does SERP stands for? So we have search engine reprocess, search engine requirements page, search engine remarketing process, or search engine results page. What do you think it's going to be? Maybe the last one. The last one? Maybe. No. You got it right. Yes. Number 2. This is for you. Thank you. Thanks. Sure. So what's the SERP? It's pretty much the results pages that we get on Google or any other search engine. We were used to the 10 blue links at the beginning, but now we have different types of content like Google Maps profiles. We also have question and answers. We have images. We have videos, right? And in the next subject, we're going to be talking about SGE. That is the new AI feature for Google that is starting to roll out in the United States right now, actually. The third subject, it's the Google March 2024 update, and we're going to be talking about this a lot because it has a close relationship with AI. Okay, so it's pretty much critical for every website that creates AI or uses AI-generated content. So this update affects those type of websites directly. Now, what's the update about? Well, this is the first update on the algorithm where Google actually implemented a way for them to be able to identify AI-generated content. So if you have a website where you pretty much just copy and paste what AI generated for you, well, you're probably going to get the index from Google because now Google has a way to identify that content. If it's fully AI generated, he's going to de-index the websites, okay? Now, at the same time that Google started announcing this March 2024 core update, this company, Originality.ai, published a study, and there's the link, so you guys can go there afterwards. But they run a study against websites to see if the actually update is starting to affect this sort of websites, right? And it does, actually. They found that 100% of the websites they actually review, of the affected websites that were complaining about stop getting organic visits, pretty much, right? 100% of them had signs or show signs of AI-generated content, and 50% of those websites had 100% of the content based on AI, right? So what happened? What happened was that a lot of people start creating websites in order to get in Google, right? So they're starting to copy and paste articles and content from AI directly into the web pages without doing any fact check or trying to, using it as a start point to generate actually true and valid content, right? So these guys, the idea was to get a lot of traffic, so then you can, for example, register in a service that Google has. It's called Google AdSense, where you have a website with a bunch of visits every month, so you can go there, register your website. Google is going to put ads on that website, and it's going to give you a bill. It's going to give you money every month because of the ads that you are displaying while people are watching your content. So looking at your content. So this update for March affected that type of website, right? Okay. Now, this is another reference point for the Google March 2024 update. This is a person, a prominent figure on the SEO community worldwide, Ian Nuttall, and he published this post. Here's the link to the post if you guys want to look at it. He were tracking down over 50,000 websites, traffic, see if they got affected. And from the first weeks after Google announced the update, they got, or he was able to identify that 1.7% of the sites he was tracking got hit, and they pretty much lost over 20 million organic monthly basic visits, just with the update. And if you have ads on that well pretty much summarizes on a revenue loss of almost 500,000 just on ads, right? So this update, if you look at it, we talk about the study for originality, and then we talk about this guy talking about the same thing, and all relates to AI and the Google core update on March. So if you see the whole picture, well, now we have to be real careful about how we create the content and when we publish that content, right? Because if it's generated based on AI, well, we have to make sure we run a fact check on that content and make sure we put something on it that doesn't seem just AI generated, because now Google has a way to identify when you do copy paste pretty much, okay? And it's already on the search engine. Cool. Surprise question number 3. ¿Cuál era tu nombre? No. Yeah. Carmen. Okay, Carmen. I'm going to shoot you a third question. So, there's a valid search engine over there. Please select one. First one is GTM. Second one is Just SEO. Then we have Brave, and then we have Moz. What do you think it could be a valid search engine?
I don't know, but maybe Just SEO?
No. That's okay. Sasha, what do you think? You have 3 options now.
Go for most.
Must? No, sir. Okay. Tico. Brave.
Yeah.
Correct. Brave.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So Brave, it's a search engine developed by Brave Software Incorporated, and it was released in beta mode back in March 2021. And it's a search engine focused on privacy and security. Okay? So you guys can go and look at it whenever you get a chance. Okay, so for subject of the session, SGE, or Search Generative Experience. This has a lot of going on in the background because it's Google response to all the features that we've been given by internet related to AI. So Google has been working on something to give people to use AI-based, right? But the thing about SGE is that since Google, a lot of their businesses comes from the search engine itself. You know, when they thought about this, well, it affected, or it's affecting a lot of businesses, right? Why? Because SGE is a feature. I will show you guys a screenshot later on, but pretty much SGE is a feature that will allow the search engine to give you a fast response. And that means people are going to stop visiting the websites. And the SGE feature will be on top of the search results. So mobile, for example, statistically speaking, people will not move to the second page. Most people, when they search on mobile, they just look for the first 5, 6 results. On mobile, you usually don't go too far away, right? So now that we have this new thing going on and it's going to be on top, well, everybody is concerned, and there's a lot of speculation about how people is going to use that, because pretty much what it means is that somehow we're going to start getting less traffic coming from the search engine. Why? Because people are going to ask a question, and Google will get the response right there. It will provide the link, but you know, people won't have the need to actually visit the website. So it all relies on how people are going to use that, right? Because before Google had Google Ads service, there was just the 10 links, and you just visit them, right? But when they implemented that feature, everybody was speculating about, okay, what's going to happen with all the traffic I was getting, because now we have the ads on top, okay? And everybody got used to that, right? But now we have this extra feature now that is going to be on top of that, and people are going to start testing it out and using it. So it doesn't apply to all scenarios, because I think if people are looking for a service or a product, they will go to organic and they will be able to tell, okay, this is AI, this is ads, and this is organic, right? But right now, we just don't know how it's going to behave, okay? But it's good. It's actually,
I always want to ask, like,
yeah.
what is potato? And you have a little paragraph, and you
Yeah.
can click, but usually
No.
you can't already answer.
It will label AI. You will see that as AI. And right now, well, Google has his big I/O conference last week in San Francisco, right? And they actually make it public, because they've been working on this like for a year and a half. And they were trying to publish, but they keep pushing the date later and later. And this event last week, they actually announced it's coming out, okay? But it's going to start in the United States. So they're going to start rolling out this new feature eventually worldwide. But it's actually happening as we speak, right? Actually, I had something else planned for this. I already have it ready. And then the event show up for Google, and then, okay, I have to change my script a little bit because it's no longer something that, because before that session for the I/O event of Google, it was available, but only on Google Labs. So if you want to like test it out, actually you can do it right now. You can get into Google Labs, and that SGE feature is available in more than 120 countries. So you can actually test and see how it works, you know, and kind of see how it actually is going to affect display and your businesses as well. So SGE is a variety of AI-based technologies, including natural language processing, machine learning, and deep learning. Let me see I need to see the clock, sorry, just to see how much time I have left. Something important for you guys to look at is that with AI, since Google is going through the experience track we talk about, right? The business profile of your clients and business, you know, on Google Maps is going to become more and more relevant. And it's going to be more important for you guys to look at that profile, make sure it's up to date. Hopefully you get to use all the features, because even if you use the Google Maps profile, you can publish stuff like social media post. You can put that on the search engine results, right? But nobody uses that feature pretty much. But it's there. It's been there for years. But it's good for you guys to, if you haven't, take a look at your business profile in Google and make sure it's up to date. It has all the information in it. Hopefully you get the best out of it, because experience is going to be the track, you know, and that profile is going to get more and more relevant on AI eventually from Google perspective. This is how it's going to look. So you're going to have a label here that is going to tell you that this is AI. And for example, for this search, you're looking for the best hikes to see fall foliage near me. So as you can see, it covers up the whole screen, right? So there's no links there. There are links, but everything is below it. And people who's looking for this information, well, Google is gathering the information for them, so there's no need for them to visit the website that had this information, right? So that is the big speculation, and everybody's concerned about this.
Nobody gonna go to the site in the end, they're just gonna get.
Correct. Just to give you guys an analogy, on a soccer team, you have 3 strikers, right? And those strikers make 100 goals through all the season, right? And then you bring another one, and you have 4. That doesn't mean that you're gonna get more goals, you know? You're still gonna be able to get 100 goals next year. So what means is that we have a new member in the search engine results, but there's still the same amount of traffic for all the search that people are already doing every day. So it means, at the end, for me, it means that we're going to get less traffic, period. Somehow, we're going to start getting less traffic. But we have to wait until it's worldwide spread, and we get to see how people use it, you know, because it is going to tell us exactly how it's going to affect and how much it's going to affect the businesses. But this is how it's going to look. It will give you links here, but I have read and I've been on several virtual seminars about this, and people are like stating that these links are not the top 3. So there's like a positive perspective about this, because it might happen that on those links, businesses that were in the first places at Google before SGE, well, now they get more display, right? But it's not a big deal, because you know most of the websites are going to get affected because of all of this display on the screen. And this is computer. If we go to mobile, you know, it's going to cover up much more, right? Okay.
So those links in there, how are those picked? Because those are not sponsored, right? So
Yeah, no.
No.
That's coming from the SGE feature. So
Is it the case that the AI is like, this is where we got our information from?
Yes.
These websites.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
If you expand this, for example, if you expand this, you will get the links.
Okay.
But you have to make, for example, from my personal experience, I always, when I build a website for a client, I always try to focus on the amount of clicks for people to get to what they want. Because just one click difference will make you drop between 15 and 20% of people that were supposed to do a CTA or make an action, but just because of that extra click, you're going to lose potential clients. So this is like, instead of being just one click for people to go to your website, Google is putting out like a couple of more extra clicks for the end user. So again, depends on how people are going to start using this feature, and we will see what happens. But like I said, with analogy of the strikers, it's the same amount of goals. So it doesn't mean that we're going to get more traffic. It means that we have the same traffic, but now people are going to use this feature. So eventually, it means that we're going to lose some traffic at the end. Bottom line, it's that. Okay, surprise question number 4. Martin, right?
Yes.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Excellent. So we were talking about this a couple of minutes before. So how many core updates Google ran last year? So we have 5, 4, 10, and 9. What do you think it's going to be?
I think it's 9.
No. No, it's core updates. Core updates. That's the tricky question. That's the tricky part. What about you, man? 4? That's correct. 4 core updates. I'll show you guys and you will see the core updates over there. So this is, do you drink? Okay. You might find this somehow useful for your activities. You're welcome. Excellent. So this is the last part of the session, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share with you guys what we do, okay, pretty much. So what's the process with the clients that we get and how we start with each of them and focus on SEO, okay? First, from the 80 clients that I mentioned you guys earlier that we have active, right now we have more than 45 successful clients in Costa Rica being in the first page of Google SERPs, okay? Most of these successful cases, they are, or they have a website, DNN website, less than 2 years and up to 4 years. So what that means, and I always explain this to the client, because there's always an expectation to have the website in Google like fast. And that's a process that nobody controls. And it's a long-term objective, especially if the business is new or if the business has never worried about this part. So it's not a 6-month deal, especially because if you hire somebody to do SEO, there is no effective way for you to measure that work that people make. You will only see the results months after, right? So it's hard to measure the results. So it's really important for businesses to have a website, right? So we're still in Costa Rica, I don't know you guys, but in Costa Rica, we'll still get a lot of small and medium businesses that believe that you can just go with Facebook profile, Instagram profile, and just put ads, you know? And you will have a long-lasting business. But the reality is that, well, from our perspective, you must have a website, and in order for you to be able to have a possibility to be displayed on Google, you need to have some time, you know, some age, right? We focus on return on investment when we do the design for user experience for the website. So what that means, it means that we focus on the actions that provides ROI to our clients. So the website, yes, provides the information people are looking for, but it's focused on people going in to make an action. And, you know, make that action becomes some profit for our client. We do provide follow-ups to all and each of our clients every 6 months. We get then an SEO status report. Well, what happens to us is that a lot of clients, they don't know anything about websites or statistics, and most of those business owners don't have time to get to know their digital client, you know, the person who visits the website. So we provide them with a 6 months SEO status report, and we get them monthly views. We get how many pages that people were looking at, from which country they're visiting, which are the top pages people are visiting, right? We measure conversions from day one using Google Tag Manager. So we were able to tell the client how many people click on your link, that you have the phone number. If you have a form, we'll let the client know how many forms were filled up and which is the source of that traffic, if it's coming from social or if it's coming from organic. So people that owns a business every 6 months gets to know their digital client a little bit more. And at the end, they have more information so they can make right decisions, right? For us, interaction is the key on a website. So we focus, and this relates to this one, we focus on creating, not a lot, but we make sure that wherever the client is on the website, they get easy access to CTAs, call to actions, right? So links, buttons, whatever allows the end user to go and get in contact with the business, with our client. Well, we focus on doing that a lot in order for the end user to have those easy options and not, you know, look, okay, how do I contact these guys? We want the potential client to be able to click on something and just go straight to the channel that they want or they prefer. Like I said before, as long as we publish the website, we create audiences on Google Analytics, and we track conversions on Google Analytics since day one. Audiences is the resource that we use for Google Ads, because if somebody visits a website and visits a specific service, we can put a cookie on that computer, right? And it will be part of an audience that we already specify that it's about that service. So if the customer wants to put some ads on Google, right, we use the audience in order to use the budget they have to show the ads to people who already visit their website. That's remarketing, right? So we show ads to people who already visit instead of showing ads to whoever is looking for the service you're providing. So it's more effective, and you get, for a small client that is going to spend $100 or $200 per month on Google Ads, it's a good strategy because they get to actually take 100% advantage of their budget showing ads to the people who actually visit their website. And we can show the ads 30, 60 days. And they can constantly see the ads. So have you guys ever looked for a fly, not actually buying it? And then you start seeing the freaking fly everywhere? Well, that's remarketing. So audiences are really important for eventually providing that service and giving the client that opportunity, because audiences, in order for them to work, they need to have at least 1,000 devices registered on the audience. So the audience will not work until you get 1,000 there, okay? Another thing that we do, we try to link all the Google tools that we use and make sure they're linked and connected. So what tools do we use? Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics 4, Google Search Console, and if the client uses Google Ads, then we just connect everything and make sure they all four work to each other and talk to each other. Something that we don't recommend to the clients is to create overall services pages, right? So overall services page, when you talk about 4 or 5 services in the same page, that's something that we don't recommend doing, because Google is going to have a hard time trying to identify in which search engine queries they're going to put that page. So you have to be specific. So nowadays, the recommendation is to create a page for each service. So Google can actually understand, okay, this page is about this subject, and this other page is about this other subject. Because what usually happens is that if you get to the first position of Google on that overall services page, you will never get on the first page of the other services, because Google already put that page there, right? So it's going to be hard for you to be and display on other related services search queries. So what's our project workflow? So it's 5 steps, pretty much. I summarized that pretty good. But it's step 1, we do a benchmarking analysis. I don't know if it happens to you guys, but our clients think, most of them think that we're experts on every market and every subject, and we don't, right? So one thing that we always do is to ask the client to provide us with 3 competitors that have a website. And we run a benchmark analysis on those websites in order to get more information about it. Second step, we request clients for their list of services and products and ask them to prioritize them. And this third step, it's sessions, it's tomorrow's session. Now we use AI, ChatGPT, to generate a report that help us create potential keywords, and we create a report that we share with the client, and they get a pretty good idea of what type of content and what type of consumer visits the website, so they can create value content, and we take advantage of that to explain the client how to properly use AI capabilities. Step 4, we use different tools to look for the most search traffic keywords, and then based on results from step 3 and 4, we recommend the top main menu of the website, which is pretty important, and then we start developing the website. This is part of what it's review on the benchmark analysis we run. We check for pop-ups, which are penalized by Google if you use pop-ups. Google doesn't like when you force people to look at content and they have to close it. So pop-ups are penalized by Google. So we check that. We check how they use images, core web vitals, facts section, pretty important to have on a website. Quality content. We look at how good content, how much content they publish and how much content they share, which are the CTAs the competitors use. It's good to have a live chat feature. Even if people don't use it, it's good for people to see that you have a right instant option to talk to somebody. YouTube channel, pretty important as well. Google Maps. And on social media, we focus on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok right now, and we check followers, how frequent they post, the post type. And we provide that on a report and give it to the client, but we use that as well, okay? Okay, so why DNN is so important for the agency? We're a small agency, so we're a micro business in Costa Rica, so we don't get to have a lot of resources to do a lot of things. So we have to focus on what really gives us an ROI to us, to ourselves, right? So we use DNN because it allows us to focus on give the customer or our clients the best experience ever, assist them, help them out, and not being worrying about vulnerabilities or threats so much. So I'm going to show you guys something, but don't take it personal. I don't use this platform. It's the competition. But if we were using the competition to create websites, we'll have to be worried about all of this. And this is 1 year vulnerabilities identification for that platform. So those are all vulnerabilities for plugins and the platform itself in 1 year. That's the last one. So you see, there's a lot of things going on, and for us, we're a small business, so we cannot afford to do this, because the time that we will spend on this, it will be time that we spend on our clients and provide them with a good and high quality service. Let's just go real quick to the question number 5. Sergi, select one reason why having a robots.txt file allows the webmaster to define roles, blog pages you don't want to show up, allows you to insert files in your website or define users. Number 2. Yes, correct. So there you are. Guess what it is? So it's, as you already know, it's important to have a robots.txt file on the root file, on the root folder, and tell search engine crawlers what to look and what not to look on your website. Okay, last part. These are free resources. These are links that you guys can visit later. These are the tools that we use the most, and these are free SEO courses that you guys can get and started right away. Last question, Kathy. What EET stands for? Last one? Correct. There you are. You're welcome. Experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Last, thanks again to all of our sponsors, and thank you guys. Don't shoot if you guys have any question. And that's the QR code for the PDF. You guys can download it. Yeah, go ahead.
On the AI content, seeing that Google is blocking them, I find it a bit questionable, funny that we are focusing so much on GPT and content and that seems so helpful, and on the other side, saying that it's not helpful, the same thing on the website. So where is the balance of that?
Well, from my personal perspective, right, there is a challenge on AI regards on what Google wants to do, because SGE is just a reply for Google to provide some feature AI-based so people don't complain about it, right? So why everybody is doing or providing AI tools and capabilities, and Google hasn't provided anything yet, right? Especially for the search engine. So the challenge for them is how to provide something that doesn't create that specific kind of question, right? Because we all have that kind of questions. I mean, in one hand, we have to be able to provide quality content. AI is a tool, or AI tools give us that way of doing things faster, but we always have to do run fact checks, so we make sure that whatever we publish is not totally AI based. So the thing here is, how can we create content and make sure that we pass that test that Google is starting to create right now. But at this point, there's a lot of speculation, because SGE, for example, 2 weeks ago was not going live.
Well, and about SGE, it seems that SGE is Google killing itself in a way, because if they don't provide links to third parties, they don't provide anything. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been on virtual seminars about this for like 6 months, and you hear all kind of ideas of speculation about it. And like I said before, the analogy, I mean, we're not gonna get more traffic. It's the same, but it's they are kind of like shooting themselves in their foot, and that's what it looks like, because they have to provide something because it's AI and it's the subject, but the way they're doing it, even for, in this case, myself, that I'm even a Google partner, it's questionable. But at this point, it's just it's in diapers right now. So we still have to wait more for this feature to actually roll out, because main core business for Google comes from the search engine, especially the ads. So they have to figure out a way to don't affect businesses, but honestly, from my personal experience, there is no way to do that. So somebody's gonna get affected, and most likely will be our clients getting less traffic. Before, Scotty had one question before.
Do you have an obligation, like we have in Europe, to have a cookie consent in order to conform to the GDPR? And if you do, how do you go about all these visits that we're missing out on?
Well, yeah, in Costa Rica, there's no obligation. Actually, in Costa Rica, we still are on diapers in a way on that matter, because business owners, the agencies are trying to get the business owners to understand the importance of privacy and, how to manage that properly. But since most of the small and medium businesses, well, just to give you guys an interesting fact, in Costa Rica, 80% of the markets are or belong to small and medium businesses. We have big companies like Walmart for supermarket and stuff, but most of the markets are owned by small and medium businesses. So their traffic, it's local. It's not worldwide. So on regards to that matter, depends on the client. In my case, I just have, from all the 80 clients, I just have one that we have cookies consent, and we have a third-party software to use to get that done. And it's the Jaguar Rescue Center that we talked about yesterday. It's a wildlife center that rescue wildlife animals, and they put it back into the nature. And the community, it's European and Canada and United States. So they must have that. But from the rest of our clients, it's just local traffic.
How do you find that difference when you analyze their stats compared to your clients? How do you cope with that?
It's different. It's different, but we're still in that process of trying to get the full understanding of the whole picture, because it's a good and bad thing for us in Costa Rica. We don't get the latest things that happens, we get eventually hit by those, eventually, and eventually means a year and a half, maybe. So if over here in Europe, in the United States, you get people using YouTube a lot, we'll eventually will get that, movement, but we're not gonna get it right away. So it's a constant delayed movement, so we get a chance to look at that. And in my case, we're working on right now on trying to get everybody to understand first what it means before doing implementations, because if we implement without explaining to the client, then we're gonna get into a really difficult position if something happens that we did something without letting them know, because they just don't care about. In Costa Rica, for example, guys, on a small store, on a small town, if you lose your ID, you will go to that store to buy groceries, the small ones, and you will see the IDs on the window. Somebody lost them. Oh, okay, that's mine. So cool. So yeah, so the privacy thing is still, a little, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So we're there. Now we'll still have a long track to run, but is that okay with the answer? Okay.
What was the question again?
I don't know.
Okay, I remember now. How do you do a fact check?
How do we run a fact check?
Yeah.
Well,
How it's like you just go and check everything, or like is there a site?
you mean with generated AI?
Yeah.
Well, in our case, we don't generate content for clients.
Okay.
We try to train our clients, because for us, the best person who can write their own content is the business owner. So the status report every 6 months, this new AI keyword research report, the idea is to sit down with the client, business owner, and take that opportunity to explain them how critical it is for them to create their own content. But if the client needs help, what we do is that we hire copywriters, but physically ones. At this point, we haven't got any problems yet of websites being banned from Google. The SEO report will give us that feedback and will tell us if something is gone completely for search. But at this point, we haven't so far. But that's how we manage content creation.
But at least you have 1 year and a half to kind of fix this, right?
Yeah. Okay. That will be all, guys. Thank you.